We are heading into overtime on 1620 The Zone. Shock the system. Welcome to the After Hours Lounge on 1620 The Zone, the 1620 The Zone app, and 1620thezone.com. When 6A to 6P isn't enough, the boys have you covered. Here's Jimmy Allen
and John Schreiner.
Happy Friday, everybody. The work week is officially over. The 6 o'clock dinner bell has rang. The After Hours Lounge is open. We're brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, and become a Bruin tonight. Myself, Jimmy Allen, Dan Campion are live with you here from 50th and Capitol. John Schreiner is somewhere in the frozen tundra of South Dakota tonight. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm in Brookings, South Dakota, where it is currently 8 degrees Fahrenheit and snow all over the place.
That's 17 degrees colder than here, so we're not doing too much better than you. But we only got about a half an inch of snow last night. That's all been burned off by now. So safe travels to you and the UNO women's basketball team after their big win last night. Congrats on not jinxing them last night, as you tried so hard to do.
Jinxes are not real, first of all. How dare you?
And you know, John, did you listen to any of John Schreiner's most likely award-winning broadcast last night?
Unfortunately, I was eating dinner during that time.
He committed the ultimate crime as a play-by-play guy. He goes, "We are 10 minutes away from ending the 13-game win streak at the start of the fourth quarter."
Oh boy,
yeah,
that's a big broadcast. No,
it didn't come. It didn't come to fruition.
It wasn't a jinx. It was a fact. My job as a broadcaster is to provide facts. Now listen.
Well, nice.
If I could speak things into existence. Do you think I'd be sitting here with you yammering about sports on the radio? No, I'd be banned from every sports book in the country because I'd never lose.
That's right. You'd be the Marty McFly of your time. We got a great show lined up for you. You can hear John Schreiner yammer about things like this. Caitlin Clark wants the smoke tonight. She sets the all-time scoring record in women's college basketball. And then we move on to 6:30. On3 put out a grading system for all of the offseason coaching hires in college athletics, college football. John and I are going to give our grades compared to what On3 gave out at 7 o'clock. We're going to buy and sell on things like the Pac-12 firing their commissioner, who even knew he still had a job. At 7:15, we will give you our Papillion Sanitation trash takes of the night. And then at 7:30, the new interim head coach of the Omaha Supernovas, Laura Bird-Kuhn, joins us in studio. She's joining us over the phone to update us on all things going on with the Omaha Supernovas, the team, and how she has handled taking over this job. I can't believe I'm about to say this in 2024, John Schreiner. Penn State wants to name their field Joe Paterno Field for the football program.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst idea you've heard all day?
It's more than the worst idea I've heard all day. It might be the worst idea so far of the year, and it's going to be high in the running as we go down into December, because naming anything after Joe Paterno at this point, how could you even think of it? It's so tone deaf and bizarre. But honestly, after what we saw out of Penn State after that whole scandal, would you expect anything less? The whole thing was tone deaf and bizarre.
Yeah, to me, this is the most egregious. Like the Jerry Sandusky shower scandal is the most egregious thing that's ever happened in sports. And now you can make the argument all the live long day that he didn't know and make whatever argument you want. There's no way this is going to happen. There's no way. Like from the statue being taken down and everything else that went into place with when all this came out about the program at Penn State under Joe Paterno and the negligence in which he didn't monitor his best friend having affairs with little boys in showers. You can't do this. In today's world, there are enough roadblocks or checks and balances put in place that there's no way that this is going to be allowed to happen, right?
I certainly hope not.
Yeah,
it would be absolutely disgusting if it was. But listen, man, do you remember the scenes in State College when they announced that Joe Paterno was going to be fired? They were flipping over cars and lighting things on fire. Like, that's an irrational fan base when it comes to Joe Paterno. Like,
I agree.
they just are.
And I mean, I guess I get it to some degree because, of the success he had there, and he wasn't, quote unquote, directly involved. But at some point, you got to remove yourself from. And listen, fan is short for fanatic for a reason, right? But at some point, you got to look at the human side of this and think about all of the people that were affected by this, and the fact that this is even being a considered idea. After listen, it's not even like after everything that happened shortly thereafter. Think about what this program went through it post Joe Paterno and this scandal too. So, I mean, if you're James Franklin, you're probably thinking, listen, man, like this is something that probably just stopped getting on people's radar just a few years ago. Like I'm finally,
we just got this thing in the rear view.
Yeah, I probably at this point have finally been stopped being asked about Jerry Sandusky. Do we really have to do this now? And another thing to think about that, like, how does James Franklin feel about that? Is that something that, and he's been a guy that's been rumored to be taking this job and that job and getting out of state college every single year, it feels like. I mean, is that something that you even want to have a conversation with your head coach about? Because I can't imagine that's something that the head coach would want to deal with.
We'll talk about putting him in a no-win situation, because if he's asked about it and he says, no, I don't think we should do it, then his own fans hate him.
And maybe even boosters.
And if he says, yeah, I think it's a good idea, then the rest of the world hates him. That is a no-win situation for him. And if they go ahead with this, they're doing him no favors.
Well, and
they're doing themselves no favors.
I wonder how it would affect recruiting too, because I'm sure if I'm a coach at Indiana or Rutgers or Michigan or Ohio State, I'm bringing this up. Are you sure you want to go to Penn State? Here, see what they're going to put on the field. Do you know the story? Do you remember Joe Paterno? Do you remember hearing about this? Let's talk about it. Is that a football field you really want your name being associated with? It's an anti-recruiting pitch if I'm an opposing school, and I would 100% lean into it.
I don't know how this can happen. I don't know how it can be there has to be an adult in the room somewhere who says, like, guys, we can't do this. Like, this name is forever tarnished.
Yeah. Listen, it's one thing to, I guess, have fond memories of Joe Paterno, and those are obviously never going to go away. If you're
won a lot of football games,
but you have to just be a little bit aware of your surroundings and read the room a little bit and understand, like, look at everything your university went through post that scandal, and all of the skeletons that got dragged out of the closet. Do we really? Because all that's going to happen is you're going to have to relive that again, and every time. And let's say by some miracle it does happen. Every time ESPN's camera pans to the sideline and you see his name written there, it's just going to be a reminder to everybody about the things that happened on that campus.
Yeah, so I think one of the counter arguments to this that a lot of people will be bringing up is, separate the art from the artist, right? That argument. And look, I'm with it. Go back and watch all the old football games when Joe Paterno was coach. Celebrate the players that he coached that had success. Do all those things, right? But let's think about it from another angle. Like Michael Jackson. Go listen to Michael's music. It was fabulous. He was a tremendous pop icon. But nobody's clamoring to create the Michael Jackson School of Music. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's just things we're not going to do. We can celebrate the achievements, but we don't have to name monuments after these people.
And that's the weirdest thing to me, that like, there's no way whenever this got proposed, these conversations weren't happening. And I wonder if there was just a process around, hey, maybe it's been long enough. Maybe people don't remember.
No, it's not.
State College, I've got some bad news for you. We all remember it. Everybody's going to bring it up every chance that they get. Hey, we got a great show still left to get to. History has been made in Iowa City. We're going to talk about the Caitlin Clark effect on women's college basketball and college athletics as a whole. And I've got some takes on, is it okay to boo Caitlin Clark? I'm going to tell you what they are when we come back on 1620 Zone. If you missed that segment, it was brought to you by our friends at Caddyshack Bar and Grill. They've got two great locations, 117th in Blondo or 180th in Harrison. You can stop out tonight and get a plate of Jay's famous hot beef sandwich with mashed potatoes and gravy for just $12.95. Caddyshack Bar and Grill is the official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone. We'll be right back giving you the smoke. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, centrally located on 78th and Dodge. If you don't know what you're going to wear to the Creighton game tomorrow morning, they've got options for you from multiple brands like Mizzen and Main, Johnny O, Cutter, and Buck. They've got it all in Blue Jay Blue for men and women. Stop by 78th and Dodge. Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has been dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
The clouds will clear up for your Friday night, but it's going to feel chilly outside with a northwest wind and temperatures in the 20s. By tomorrow, we see a lot more sunshine, a high temperature near 40 degrees, and then only warmer thereafter. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV News Watch 7.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com. Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area.
Check.
Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they hit the road for the first time with trips to Grand Rapids and Vegas. They're back home at the CHI Health Center on the 18th to host the Orlando Valkyries. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to boosting reviews, fixing maps, to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $99 special offer. Click fixmygbp.com for more details.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan, we bring out the best in you.
Lanahaw Nurseries has been your dependable full-service source for locally grown trees, plants, and landscape materials. Rooted in tradition, our products and services are consistently ranked best of Omaha in quality and value. From design to install, our experts are here to help bring your landscape vision to life. Start your next project this weekend. Visit us at 192nd and Center, Lenahan Nurseries, your homegrown headquarters since 1974.
Do you know a high school senior who'd like a $12,000 college scholarship? Be sure to tell them that the Salvation Army is now seeking nominations for the DJ's Hero Award scholarships. We're looking for Nebraska high school seniors who have overcome adversity and who are doing the most good in their communities. The application deadline is Wednesday, March 13th, so nominate your hero today. Just go to djshero.org for more information. That's djshero.org.
All right, cool.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
6:16 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking to keep up to date on all things Bellevue athletics, like keeping up to date with the women's and men's basketball game going on tomorrow night, check it out at the BU Bruins app on your smartphone tonight. Before we get to the Who Wants to Smoke segment.
Oh.
Okay, this isn't from a very reliable source, but there are a couple rumors going around on Twitter right now.
Oh, no.
That
this sounds bad.
Canelo Alvarez may be facing Errol Spence Jr. on May 4th in Dallas. Whoo! That is going to upset some people if that's the case.
Oh,
obviously, Terrence Crawford has been calling out Canelo Alvarez for quite a while. And many people may forget this, but Terrence Crawford beat in Errol Spence's face for 7 straight rounds out in Las Vegas just a few months ago. So I'll be surprised if that comes to fruition. Again, that's just a few people are tweeting that on Twitter right now, and we'll wait till a more credible source comes up with that, but hopefully we get a response to that sooner rather than later. I'm Jimmy Allen. That is John Schreiner. Dan Campinen is producing tonight, and it is time for the Who Wants This Smoke segment. It's Caitlin Clark. She makes history, in Iowa City and holds the all-time scoring record. Now, she famously needed 8 more points against the Nebraska Cornhuskers in Lincoln. She went 0 in that fourth quarter with a loss to the Huskers. But first and foremost, I don't believe that there's all this clamoring that she wanted to do it in Iowa City and pulled back on the reins. No, I think Jazz Shelley and that defense absolutely shut her down in that fourth quarter, and she just ran out of gas. Have you heard this? Have you heard this clamoring that Caitlin just wanted to do it in Iowa City and took her foot off the gas, John? And what do you think?
Got a conspiracy theory, don't they?
Only when it's convenient for you.
Yeah. No, there's no way. She wanted to win that game. There's no way that she's like, oh, I'm going to save my points for the home game. That's ridiculous. Come on.
That doesn't happen in sports.
She
did show out.
If you're saying that, you've never watched Caitlin Clark play the game, because she's trying to win every time she steps on the floor.
Yeah,
it's a
just
ridiculous.
Look at her demeanor after the game, too. She was very defeated, literally and figuratively, after that game, and didn't look like she was dealing well with the loss. But she showed out at Carver Hawkeye last night. She finished with 49 points. Her 12th game with 40 or more points in her career. She buried 9 3-pointers. She also had 13 assists. But she put on a show because she needed 8 points, and she had Iowa's first 8 points to set the record, and she didn't make people wait. She buried the history-making shot from over 40 feet away, hitting it from that media.com logo on the court, too. And she was definitely on fire last night.
Yeah, and then the whole team decided to storm the court. Hey, Lisa, it's not Big Ten protocol right there.
That's right. Yeah, people forget.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was just fitting the way she broke the record too, with a shot from the logo, something she's done throughout her entire career that really gets the crowd excited. I just thought it was so fitting for her to break the record in that way. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've heard this argument, and I know, I think last time Jack Mitchell was on USC, not today, but the previous time, he brought this up. Is it okay to boo her or not root for her because of how important she is to the women's game? And I'm absolutely okay with booing her. I'm okay with not cheering for her. Listen, I grew up a Seattle Supersonics fan, and Michael Jordan was revolutionary towards basketball, and I didn't root for him either.
Yeah.
I famously did not root for Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl because he was playing against my favorite team. Now, if you hate her because she's a woman, that's a problem. But if you boo her because of the jersey she wears, that's what sports is. And I'm really getting sick of this connotation about women's sports that we can't do this, we can't treat female athletes like that because they're women. No, it's a part of the game. It's why you're a fan. Like the Caitlin Clarks of the world that are this high performing an athlete, it makes them better. They want you to boo them, like men or women. It's part of the game, and it's better for the game. If you're going to bring it as a fan, it makes the on the court better, in my opinion, too.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we were talking about equality, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
in what world is it not okay to boo in sports?
Yeah, let's be fair. She's an adult. She
Yeah.
can take it.
And I promise you, listen to the sound of my voice. You will not be the first person to boo her either. Like she plays in Big Ten arenas around the country. Now, it's been amazing what she's been able to do, and I think her accomplishment is obviously second to none. But listen, I'm a Nebraska fan. I'm booing Caitlin Clark. It's just gonna happen.
Look, man, but also athletes get booed because people don't like their personality also.
Right.
And there are people who don't like the way Caitlin Clark plays the game. They don't like the logo threes. They don't like her.
You know what? If she
being the focus of that team, they don't like that.
If she was wearing a different colored jersey, I would probably like her a whole lot more.
Absolutely.
I love her game. I just wish she played in a different city.
But look, there are plenty of reasons to not like an athlete, whether it's the way they play the game, the team they play for, something the way they act in a press conference. Those are all valid reasons to not be a fan of that athlete. Gender's not one of them. That's the end of it.
She has a chance to be the all-time leading scorer in all of college basketball. She's chomping at the bits of Pete Maravich's all-time record from when he was at LSU from 67 to 70. Clark has 3,596 points. She's made 487 three-point attempts. That's 35 more than Kelsey Plum, by the way, who previously held the all-time scoring record at Washington. She did it in 13 fewer games than Plum as well in her 23-17 run. Iowa has 4 more regular season games. Clark needs 98 more points to pass Maravich's all-time leading scoring record in college basketball history. Now, you could have chanted a lot of things at Caitlin Clark, which she set the record. The people in Iowa City chanted one more year. Caitlin Clark can come back for one more season in a Hawkeye uniform. Do you think she does?
So she's very obviously the most high-profile women's basketball, collegiate women's basketball player of all time. Nobody's disputing that. So she's going to be insanely valuable to whichever WNBA franchise would draft her. And so it's easy to think that with the record broken that, she'll go on to the pro ranks. There's a wild card here, however. NIL. Her deals are reportedly worth upwards of $739,000.
That number seem low to you?
It sounds about right, honestly. Okay. Yeah, I would say it's about right.
Hey, V, break out a bigger checkbook.
I looked up WNBA salaries. The max veteran salary for a 6-year plus pro in the WNBA for next season will be about $242,000, or about a third of what she's making in college. So the money doesn't seem to make sense for her to leave yet. I'm betting that she comes back, but with her competitive nature, I wouldn't put it past her to leave. But I think she's coming back again.
Yeah, Erica Wheeler is the highest paid player in the WNBA, and she makes $242,000 a year, and that's the highest grossing salary. So it's all about dollars.
It's the maximum. There's an individual cap on what a player can make in the WNBA. So
I would like to parrot a point though, John, that you made about a week ago. Maybe it was almost 2 weeks ago now, that if she goes to the WNBA, those endorsements and those sponsorships that she has through the NIL,
they follow her.
They don't leave. You made that point a couple weeks ago where you were like, hey,
they won't leave.
Money will still roll in. She'll still be able to
So-
let us know that we can win some high chai.
It would be it would be interesting to see what Hy-Vee and her other sponsors do if they would be interested in upping that dollar amount to keep her in Iowa City too, because there may be some like, listen, you're not as valuable to Hy-Vee if you're playing in Atlanta where they don't have grocery stores. You know what I mean? So, Caitlin Clark, call your agent. You're going to need him.
This year high chai, next year high chicken.
There you go. Hey, if you missed the Who Wants to Smoke segment tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/After Hours 1620 was brought to you by 402 Barbecue. You can stop by 3027 South 84th Street Monday through Saturday from 11 to 6. If you don't want high chai, you can go get barbecue instead. Try my personal favorites, the Cadillac sandwich. It's brisket, it's pork, it's topped off with their world-famous smoked mac and cheese. Make sure you mention Kelly and the team. You heard about them on After Hours. She's going to throw in a free soda with a purchase and the mention of our show. 402 Barbecue, 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by tomorrow and grab lunch. We're ranking the college football hires of the offseason. We come back here on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Ian Camping in here. Do you have a house? Is it getting a little bit drafty, and is your roof starting to leak? Because Old Man Winter is definitely here, and he's starting to take a toll on those windows. Let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 straight years come and take care of your roof, windows, gutters, or siding. They can do it all. Call Pyramid at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at bubruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly trash or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they hit the road for the first time with trips to Grand Rapids and Vegas. They're back home at the CHI Health Center on the 18th to host the Orlando Valkyries. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to ForsmansFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsmans can't do. Check out ForsmansFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to boosting reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $99 special offer. Click fixmygbp.com for more details.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting.
Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving,
Come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with after hours. Thursday is spaghetti night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
.632 on a Friday night here on the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you want to keep up to date on all things Bellevue athletics, download the BU Bruins app on your smartphone tonight. John Schreiner is in South Dakota. Jimmy Allen, Dan Campinen with you live here on 50th and Capitol. You can follow the show at After Hours 1620 on Twitter. You can give us a phone call tonight at 402-951-1620 to weigh in on anything we are talking about. 2 days ago, the On3 Twitter page put out a carousel grade of the coaches that have been hired from Jesse Samanton from On3. He gave a grade to every coach that had been hired in college football in this offseason, and I'll run it down, his rankings. He had Kalen DeBoer and Jonathan Smith, the Alabama and Michigan State coaches, as A's. And Willie Fritz, the new Houston coach, as an A. Mike Elko, Kurt Signetti, Sharon Moore, Jeff Fish, Brent Brennan, and Bill O'Brien and Manny Diaz, all as B's. Fran Brown is a B-, and Jeff Leby is a C+. We're going to give you our rankings, our grades of these hires, and we'll go in that order, John, if that's okay with you.
Good with me.
I put Kalen DeBoer as an A+. I think they hired the best guy for this job to be able to sustain momentum and take what could be looked at as a negative with Nick Saban leaving and move it in a positive forward motion and I don't want to say raise the level, but maybe keep recruiting on an even par, and a guy that's been successful at every single job that he's been at looks like he can be successful in replacing arguably the greatest of all time. I gave it an A+.
I left it at an A. I agreed with On3 here. He's had success everywhere, but Alabama's a different beast, man. I think he'll be good, but I don't think good warrants an A+. Had they somehow, ripped away a Kirby Smart, that's an A+ for me. Alabama, if you're not getting like the best coach in the game, it's not an A+ for you.
He did fall short as the runner-up in the national championship game, and the guy that beat him left. You can make the argument he might be the best in the game.
Yeah, I don't think he's proven it yet. I mean, it's 1 year, so it's an A. It's an A. It's all of an A.
All right, I'm going a little bit above that, and I gave an A- to the hire at Michigan State and Jonathan Smith. I would have gave it a B, but now they're in on the top recruit in the state of Michigan. I think that gives him a little bit of a bump there. He's won 7 or more games post the pandemic in his time in Oregon State. Plus, he's also used to dealing with the little brother dynamic inside of the state. Being successful at Oregon State isn't an easy task to do. So I'm giving it an A-, teetering on a B+.
Yeah, I said B+. I think Oregon State was okay with him as their head coach, but Michigan State's a mess. I think he's got the right offensive game plan. It's a run first, run heavy offense, which is what has worked at Michigan State in the past. So I like that. We'll just have to see if he can handle that dumpster fire of an athletic department.
Moving on to Willie Fritz, moving over from Tulane to Houston. I gave it a B as to where On3 gave it an A.
Oh, really?
But I gave it I give it a B just because we've never seen Willie Fritz, at this level. Now Houston is in the Big 12. He's had success at Georgia Southern, obviously a ton of success at Tulane, but he's never done it at the Power 5 level. I think they needed a guy who could help usher Houston into the Big 12 big time football format a little bit better. I do like this hire. I'm just not willing to really put an A stamp on it quite yet. I do like Willie Fritz, and I think that it can be successful. I just think he's going to have some growing pains out of the gate.
No. And I went the other way. I think this is an A+ hire for Houston.
Wow. Okay.
I love Willie Fritz. I think he should have had a bigger job years ago. This should not be his first Power 5 coaching job. He's been successful at every level, all the way down to the D2 level. And I think the Cougars, not the BYU ones, are now the team to watch in the Big 12.
See, and I kind of went the opposite. Like, that makes me a little nervous because I agree. I think he probably could have and should have been a Power 5 guy sooner than now. Why was he so hesitant to take those jobs? That always concerns me.
Sure.
I'm gonna go. We'll move
Valid.
on to Mike. We'll move on to Mike Elko, who's leaving Duke to take the Texas A&M job. I have it as a B because how often does the let's go get the coordinator from the guy that we hired and then he left and it'll work out situation ever work? I mean, I guess you could look at Gus Malzahn for a while at Auburn, but it's very rarely a situation where you hire a guy that was a coordinator under a coach you fired and it works out. Now, he did work at Duke. Duke isn't the pressure of Texas A&M. I don't love this hire like a lot of people do.
Yeah, and I don't either. And I gave it a C+.
Wow.
And
okay.
It's mostly down to the fact that I think Mike Elko is a certain kind of coach, and I don't think you have to hire the guy at A&M who can do more with less, because A&M's really easy to recruit to.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was probably a better candidate out there that they could have got to come with a higher profile who could have, even further boosted the recruiting at A&M, which is not a tough place to recruit to either. So, look, I don't think he's a right fit. I don't think his mentality works at A&M, and I think he's probably gone inside of 5 years.
Just ask Nick Saban how easy it is to recruit at Texas A&M. He loves talking about that.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's move on to Curt Cignetti, obviously the former James Madison head coach, now at Indiana. I gave it an A. He's been a head coach since 2011. He's had one season where he's won fewer than 7 games. He had James Madison in a D2 national championship before they made the jump to D1. He navigated the waters from the D2 level to the D1 and went 11-1 last year. I think this is a great fit for Indiana. I love this hire. I gave it an A.
I was in step with you until I heard the man speak at his press conference.
That is why this isn't an A+, by the way.
I gave it a C.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
So, like I said, I liked him until I heard him talk, right? He doesn't think star rankings matter. And at James Madison, they might not.
It might not at Indiana either, though.
The better recruiter won 73% of college football games last season, according to Dave Bartu. 73%. Star rankings do matter. You can shout from the rooftops all you want that we watch more tape than these recruits, but it makes a difference. There is data to back it up. If you don't believe it, you're going to continue the losing at Indiana. It's a C.
Do we think, because that's an interesting debate, because I don't think anybody in this room or listening to the sounds of our voice thinks that we expect Indiana to be lockstep in recruiting with Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, or those, like, you know what I mean? It's not like
Certainly not. No, not at all.
I think he would have a different tone if he was at Penn State. I think that's hey, I understand the assignment, and this is, I'm not going to come in here and promise you the world that we're going to start getting 4- and 5-star guys. I'm going to tell you how that's not important, because it's not going to happen. I think he might just know his audience.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but he dumped cold water on the entire recruiting industry. Basically, tried to throw the recruiting services under the bus, saying they don't know what they're talking about, which is a very troubling message.
We'll agree to disagree on that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a topic for another night, but I like that discussion. Let's move on to Sherrone Moore. Obviously, the former offensive line coach at Michigan gets this job as the head coach. I gave it a C. I have serious concerns about Sherrone Moore. I know it worked hiring Ryan Day at Ohio State. I don't think this will be the same thing for Michigan. I don't love hiring a guy to replace Jim Harbaugh who's never been a head coach before. That gives me great concern, because I don't think that Michigan is the recruiting hotbed that Ohio State is. And obviously, when you can recruit at a high level, despite what Kurt Signetti says, it can give you some erasers that can cover up some growing pains from a first year head coach. I get why they hired Sean Moore. I know there would probably be an uprising if they didn't. I give this a C just because I would have liked to see a guy take that job of the defending national champs that has some experience.
Yeah, I agree with On Three here. I think it's a solid B. Yeah, they could have shot for a bigger name, but I think keeping Sharon Moore as the head coach, you probably keep most of the roster intact, which is pretty good. So they should be okay for a few years. We'll see how he does in recruiting. I don't think they'll win another title with Sharon Moore as the head coach, but I mean, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think I could see it taking a step back too, and this is, I think 90% of America would settle for this, taking a step back to Ohio State before they went on the run, or excuse me, taking a step back to the Michigans before they went on the runs against Ohio State and being that level, the 8, 9, 10 win group. And listen, if he can build off that and get some momentum, I think that's a win for Michigan.
Yeah,
Do you disagree?
I do.
That's a B head coach.
Plus.
You think it's an A plus?
I think it's an A plus.
A guy that's never been a head coach getting the job at Michigan as the head coach.
And I'm perfectly fine with that. And you want to know why?
Sure.
Because the players will want to play for him.
Okay.
They obviously showed that during the Jim Harbaugh-less stint of this season, where he was technically their head coach.
That's a good point.
For a hot minute there. He understands this program. I think he understands what Harbaugh was building because he was very heavily a part of it.
Yeah.
And I mean,
will he
unlike
buy
John,
will he buy
think,
recruits cheeseburgers though? That's the main question.
Yes. Oh, yes, he will. He looks like a guy who enjoys cheeseburgers. And I disagree with John because I think Michigan's going to go for a national title within the next 3 years.
Okay.
Oh, wow. All right.
We'll move on to
throwing down the gauntlet.
We'll move on to Jedd Fish.
Positive boy.
We'll move on to Jedd Fish. I guess I accidentally pronounced Jeff Fish. Jedd Fish, obviously moving over from Arizona to Washington. I gave this a C. I think this might work out, but if it kind of surprises me that they didn't go out and get somebody who is kind of Big Ten centric and can help them kind of move through the Big Ten waters and understand the conference a little bit more. Now, obviously, this is a guy that had a ton of success at Arizona where almost nobody has been able to do that. But he's got to come in and take over this roster that's lost over 35 players and also head into a new conference where he has no familiarity with anybody.
Yeah, I think our assessments are pretty much exactly the same, but our grade is a little different. I said B plus, just because I really love what he did at Arizona. That program was in the toilet, and he got them to being at least relevant. So I think he's a good West Coast recruiter, which is what Washington definitely needs. You need somebody who can recruit in California and in Arizona. I think he can do that. So I think it's a good B plus. Now moving into the Big Ten's tough, and we'll see what Washington becomes, but I do like the hire.
Since I don't like lying to people, do you want to break down Jeff Fish, who is an insurance agent in South Carolina? Or should we just move on?
Well, you know,
we'll give that guy an F.
Not to besmirch anyone's good name.
Yeah.
So we'll just leave Jeff alone for now.
I'm gonna give him an F. I don't like his insurance agency.
All right.
We'll move on to Brent Brennan, who is who's taking the job at Arizona after leaving San Jose State. I gave this a D. A guy who in his first few seasons went 3-22. He's never won more than 7 games at San Jose State. Now, to your point, he does know the recruiting grounds, and that's why I didn't give this an F. Some may consider that a win that he won 7 games at San Jose State. I don't love this hire either.
I actually really like it. I gave it a B plus. Won his final 6 regular season games at San Jose State. That program is generally the laughing stock of Division I college football. They've been terrible. And look, Arizona became a good job again after Jedd Fish. So I think Brennan's going to be fairly successful.
Let's move on to Bill O'Brien. I gave this an A to Boston College, but probably for not the reason you think. I don't know if Boston College could have landed a bigger name head coach outside of Bill O'Brien. I don't think it's going to work out, though. It's one of those situations, like obviously he had a ton of success at Penn State, but that was a long time ago. And Boston College doesn't have the same resources. And I don't know a guy who has been at the NFL and has been in Alabama and who's been at Penn State and has been around these big time programs that are willing to dedicate the type of money that those schools are to winning if they can be as successful at a school that's not. And I don't think it's going to work out long term.
I also gave it an A for exactly the same reason. He's
Wow.
absolutely the best head coach that Boston College could have possibly attracted. Like, there is not a better coach out there that would go coach at Boston College today. Like, this is the best they could have done. It's an A hire. End of the story.
And we'll see. We'll see if it ends up being an F by the time he's done out there in Boston. We'll move on.
By the way, it's a B because they literally just said, "Oh, who can we get from the Boston area who doesn't have a job right now?" It seems like it's Bill O'Brien.
Yeah. And hey, it worked out. I mean, I don't know if there would have been a more convenient hire for anybody. We'll move on to Manny Diaz, who's taking the job at Duke. And by the way, I totally forgot this happened. And until we did this list, I went, "Oh yeah, that's a thing." He wasn't a very good personnel manager at Miami. I give this a C. I think there's going to be less pressure at Duke, obviously, but he needs to put people around him that can help him manage the personnel and time management and like allow himself to be the defensive coordinator. He needs to hire someone that's smarter than him to run the offense that he can feel comfortable being completely hands off. This isn't going to work.
I said D+ because like, what has Manny Diaz even done to deserve a head coaching job at this point? Like,
he's been a head coach before, and it's Duke.
Has he won anywhere? No, he hasn't. And Duke is a very tough job. You need a developer, right? You can't recruit there because of the academics. This is not going to be good.
I mean, listen, the only caveat I'll give you to that is he did spend that year with James Franklin, a guy that was able to win 9 and 10 games at Vanderbilt in the SEC. That's the only reason that I don't have this lower than a C-. We'll move on to Fran Brown, who's taking the Syracuse job. A Greg Schiano, a Kirby Smart, and a Matt Rule disciple. It'll be interesting to see how this works out. I really like this hire. I think this is a great fit for Syracuse. I gave this a B+.
This was my lowest grade.
Wow.
A D-.
Because?
I'll be honest, no idea who he is. Like, I don't know what he does. I know that he was Georgia's defensive backs coach, and he apparently has recruiting ties in New Jersey. Great.
He's from Camden.
You've still got to coach football. Like, recruiting's fine. You've still got to be able to coach the players you put on the field. And look, this guy's never been anything like, yeah, he's been a co-defensive coordinator, but he's a defensive backs coach. Jumping straight to head coach, I don't like it at all.
Hey, John Harbaugh was a special teams coordinator.
Very different. Special teams coordinators touch every player on the field
appropriately. We gotta after the Paterno talk tonight.
Yeah,
we gotta
the first segment.
We got to make sure we throw that in there. We'll go to Jeff Levy, who takes on the Mississippi State job. For me, it kind of feels like the Dan Mullen hire. I kind of like this. He turned around Dylan Gabriel's career at Oklahoma. He learned under Lane Kiffin and under Josh Heupel. I think this is the most intriguing and interesting hire out of this entire list. I think it's got the highest ceiling and the lowest floor out of anybody.
What was your grade?
Oh, sorry. I gave it a B+.
Yeah, B+ as well. Right in step there. Look, he had a top 15 offense in the country in his 2 years as the OC at Oklahoma.
I think people have to remember how bad it was in that first season, and he was able to turn it around. That's very important.
Mississippi State, like, you need sparks to fly. You need a shiny toy. You need something flashy because the Lane train at Ole Miss gets all the headlines. If you want any attention in Mississippi, you got to have something special. And look, the guy can coach offense, and if he can put up a bunch of points, that'll attract some attention. So it's a B+ for me.
Does it surprise you at all that he was willing to take this job despite working under Lane from 20 to 21? Like, that kind of surprised me when I heard that he was taking this job. I was a little shocked.
I mean, not really, because when it comes to getting a Power 5 job, allegiances go out the window, man. Like, you got to take it where you can get it.
Not everybody's Tony White, I guess. Hey, if you missed the segment, check it out, soundcloud.com/afterhours. 1620 was brought to you by Going Vertical Omaha. Going Vertical is the premier training facility in the Midwest, and they're helping athletes get to that next level. If you want to come in for combine style testing, run a 40, run a shuttle, have it on film, put it up on your huddle page. We'll also let you come into our podcast studio. We'll interview you so you can put your voice and your face on an interview for coaches to see the player that they're going to be talking to before they even meet you. Check out goingverticalomaha.com to register for our very first weekend of recruiting boosting. It's February 24th. Head over to goingverticalomaha.com to register the player in your life today. We'll be right back finding out what's trending on social media here on 1620 The Zone. but it's Jimmy Allen here for Forsman's Finest Decks. Maybe you're like my neighbor, and I saw him yesterday. He let his dogs outside. He's just standing there getting snowed on in the middle of the night because he didn't have a patio or a cover over it. Forsman's Finest Decks can come out and do that for you. They'll build you a deck, put a cover on, add that something that your house has been missing. Head over to forsmansfinest.com. Have your dream deck built this spring. Forsman's Finest Decks, building the finest decks in Omaha.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
There's never been a better time to choose a new career path than right now. Hi, I'm Tracy with Papillion Sanitation. If you're at a point in your life where you want a career, not a job, Papillion Sanitation is the place for you. From 401k options to opportunities for career advancement, come make Papillion Sanitation your future. Check out papillion-sanitation.com today to apply and make a change for the better. Papillion Sanitation, equal opportunity employer.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to forsmansfinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsman's can't do. Check out forsmansfinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with after hours. Thursday is spaghetti night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to boosting reviews, fixing maps, to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $99 special offer. Click fixmygbp.com for more details.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they hit the road for the first time with trips to Grand Rapids and Vegas. They're back home at the CHI Health Center on the 18th to host the Orlando Valkyries. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
.655 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. You can head over to bellevue.edu and register for spring classes today. Before we get to the social media soundbite, our good friends at the Connor Happer Show put out a poll today, as they very rarely do. They don't do a whole lot of polls on Twitter on the Connor Happer Show, asking if Omaha is the fish fry capital of the world. I, along with several other people, 62% voted yes. You got any good fish fries lined up, John Schreiner?
You're asking me? No.
Yeah. Not a big fish fry guy?
Fish fry's not my thing. No, I like fish. Fish and chips is a good go-to.
Is the crowds? It's crowds that turn you off?
I don't know. I just don't. It's not a scene that I frequent. I'm not a fish fry guy.
This seems like the Dan Campinen special.
Yeah,
is this right up your alley?
I am a fish fry guy.
I am
beer in a plastic cup, French fries to like piled high. And
have you ever seen a keg stand at a fish fry?
Yes, I have.
I have as well. Classic. Sometimes it can be a classic.
It's always a good move.
Yeah. We'll get to the social media soundbite where I don't think fish fries are trending, but Dan Campinen, luckily enough, has a computer in front of him and can tell us what is. What is my deal tonight? Go ahead, Dan. Whoa, explicitives.
Yes,
this is a family show, Dan.
I would very much like to give a shout out and say my thanks to the Pittsburgh Pirates for doing the right thing and censoring one word in that video.
Yeah. Was it the F word?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay. What happened there?
Well, if you couldn't tell by that magical sound of leather popping on leather,
that's right.
Pitchers and catchers have finally reported, and baseball season is technically underway.
That's right. Also, college baseball started today. College softball started today. People forget.
Indeed, it did. But that was a video from the Pittsburgh Pirates because as they were warming up today, Paul Skeens, famously of the LSU Tigers and more famously of the College World Series and dating Livy Dunn, he broke someone's glove today just in warm-ups, just in some casual, probably not so soft toss with him, but
is that the most
should have been soft toss?
Is that the most dudes doing things that we've ever heard? Like just a tank of a human being just out there breaking professional baseball gloves by tossing a ball around. That's incredible.
It's absolutely, and the look on the guy's face too. He's just like, I can't believe it.
Oh, number one overall. Okay.
we're 2 days into practice and you already broke my glove, Paul. Thanks.
John, this might be, do we have a breaking news drop, Dan? John, I don't know if you're aware of this.
I'm not. I don't know where we're going.
We talked about college softball. Are you aware that you and I are doing the Creighton softball game on March 15th together?
Oh, is that a breaking news right now? That just came through?
That is doubleheader. You and I will be on the 2 and the 4 o'clock game on March 15th and the April 5th game. So make sure you check out Flow Sports.
After hours, during working hours? What is this?
That's right. We'll change the show to during hours that day. Excited for that. It's not. I've actually known that for 2 days and I forgot to tell you, so I apologize.
Well, nice. Looking forward to it, man.
I don't know if we've talked about this. Do you have a favorite Major League Baseball team?
I do, and it's very unfortunate.
Is it as bad as your NFL team?
It's right up there. It's real close.
You are
Chicago White Sox.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, they've won a championship in the last decade and a half.
It was 2005.
Wasn't it 08?
No, it was 05.
Was it 05? Okay.
I remember because I was in 5th grade and there was a kid who came to school the day after they won the championship in like full White Sox outfit, and we were all like, you don't even like baseball. You don't even know who any of these people are. He's like, I love their manager, Ozzie Galleon.
Yeah.
We're like, yep.
The Flying
okay.
Galleons. Okay. Well, we'll keep that in the back burner. Listen, I'm a Yankees fan. I have been my whole life, and I'm not overly optimistic about what this season is going to look like either. So maybe we can all be miserable except for Dade Campinen, whose Twins.
Yeah, I will not be miserable.
Will be
this
drastically improved
season.
from a really good year a year ago. So if you missed which number 1 overall pick is almost injuring his teammates. Check it out at soundcloud.com/after-hours1620. It was brought to you by our friends at Pixel Fire Marketing. If you need help getting better Google reviews, or maybe you want to target a certain part of the city, have Dan Savvy and crew come out and help you with geofencing. They can put your social media ads in certain parts of the city to target the ideal client that you're looking for. Even better, they're right here in Omaha. You don't have to work with a big national brand. Check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details tonight. John Schreiner, Dan Campion, and I buy things. We come back here on 1620 The Zone. You hear that sound? Just stop it grumbling. Listen to it. You can stop by Pepper Jack's Grill tonight. There's 10 great locations in the Omaha area. You can stop and get a Philly cheesesteak. Maybe you're really hungry. Get a fat rice bowl. It'll make you happy. Tonight, you can also get some healthy options. If you don't want to get fat, you can get a salad. They have all those options at Pepper Jack's Grill. There's 10 of them. Make sure you stop by one of the great locations in Omaha tonight and grab dinner.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at BUBruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly trash or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they hit the road for the first time with trips to Grand Rapids and Vegas. They're back home at the CHI Health Center on the 18th to host the Orlando Valkyries. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jack's, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jack's, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jack's today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jack's.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to boosting reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $99 special offer. Click fixmygbp.com for more details.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to ForsmansFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsmans can't do. Check out ForsmansFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Top of the second hour here at 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Papillion Sanitation, who I'm proudly repping tonight. If you're looking for a new career, you can head over to papillion-sanitation.com. Become a driver. We'll even help you get a CDL. If you don't have one, there's a $10,000 stick around bonus as well. Before we get into buy or sell, I have a question. Okay. Two of us are happily married in this room, and one of us are well on their way. Is there a trash television show that your wife or fiance make you watch?
No, my wife doesn't make me watch television shows.
Do you choose to watch a show that you would normally not watch that she does?
Yes. No. So we have shows that we like to watch together. I have shows that I like to watch by myself. She has shows that she likes to watch by herself. And if either of us don't want to watch the show that the other one's watching, we don't.
Dan, what's your show?
Mine is a little gem called Gilmore Girls.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not that I don't want to watch it. It was one that when she started watching it, because it's like every fall, it starts like I'm just gonna have this on in the background and do
because they don't make new shows of that, right?
No, they don't.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say that show's like 900 years old.
And I was like, this is dumb. These ladies just talk fast. And then like a week into it, I was like, well, what's gonna happen with Lorelai and Rory? Come on.
What is it? What is it?
Be with Luke.
What's a no-go for you, John, when the wife turns it on?
Well, she's watched Gilmore Girls like 4 times, so I don't do that one.
Okay.
You're missing out. It's a great
Downton Abbey is another one that she watches over and over again. I don't do that one, but like she won't watch like she won't watch anything Star Wars. So like when I'm watching The Mandalorian, she's out on that. Yeah, I'm a huge dork. I have no problem saying it. I'm a nerd, a dork, a geek, whatever.
My wife has recently got me into Vanderpump Rules, which I would never thought I would have ever watched in my entire life. Then I found out Tom Sandoval was on with our friends Spicoli and Meg in the morning today. Now I have to go back and listen to their show that I missed today.
Yeah, he's here this weekend at Barnado.
He's in Omaha?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's playing with his band at Barnado.
Go boo him. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
You should actually. Go boo Tom Sandoval.
I got takes. And they're not that, by the way. But let's get to buy or sell. That's for a different podcast. What do we got, Dave? Let's talk sports.
Yes. So there is a discussion of expanding the NCAA men's basketball tournament to 94 teams. Buy or sell this being a good idea?
Sell. I hate this.
Sell it all day, every day.
You know what?
Thank God.
And
I was waiting
while
for the
you're
two
at
to
it,
be like trash about this and be like, I love it. Give us more madness, more basketball.
While you're at it, not only should you not expand it to 94 teams, take your dumbass playing games with you and get rid of those too. I hate the playing games. I hate expanding the tournament. Leave it at 64. It's perfect. Don't mess with it. I want to see 15 seeds take on 2 seeds. Give me the St. Peter's of the world. I don't want to see a 20 seed. This is stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% hard agree. This is the perfect postseason sporting event. Do not change it.
The only reason I would entertain the idea is if there aren't playing games, and on Selection Sunday, I have a bracket that's put in place that I don't have to worry about what's going to happen here and map out those navigations. I want the bracket in its full glory on Selection Sunday. I think those playing games should happen on Saturday, so we know where they're going to be on Sunday, by the way.
Oh, well, I have a problem with playing in for an 11 seed.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
If you're playing in for an 11 seed, you should be firmly in the field.
Yeah, and you should. The only situation you should be playing in is for a 16 seed.
If you want to have play-ins, you should be playing in for a 16.
Agreed. Dan? Oh, sorry, John. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's it.
I felt like there was a great rant coming there.
No.
All right. So guys. The Pac-12, still a thing. They mutually
Is
agreed to
it?
part ways, though, with George, last name that starts with a K. We know that the last two remaining teams, Oregon State and Washington State, will play a semi-Mountain West Conference schedule. Buy or sell, the Pac-12 will be back.
It's Kolovkov, by the way. You know what? I'm going to go on a limb. I'm buying. I think we're going to see a last-ditch charge for the Pac-12. I don't think it'll ever be considered a Power 5 conference, but I think it'll be a thing in the next 5 years.
I'm selling it unless the Mountain West decides to change their name to the Pac-12.
Which is, I think it might be the right move. I think it's a better brand. It's more recognizable.
Yeah,
I
mean, they could. So it might still be a thing. It won't be the same thing, but it could still be a thing.
Dan?
Oh, I don't think the Pac-12 is coming back.
I meant, what's your question?
Oh, my next question. Tyronn Lue, former Nebraska great and current Clippers head coach, was fined for saying that the officials were cheating last night. Buy or sell that this is a bad look for the NBA.
Well, it's a weird look because the Clippers ended up winning over the Warriors last night. But yeah, having one of your premier coaches in the NBA accusing officials of cheating, not great. I'm buying this.
Yeah, it's a bad look for everybody involved. I think that having a coach come out and say that not that the officials got a call wrong, but that they were cheating, that's a big accusation. I mean, I will accept a coach saying that the officials are incompetent, that they're blind, that they don't know what they're doing, that they're not adjudicating the rules properly. All of that is totally in bounds. But to say that they're cheating, yikes, man, that's a bad look.
Yeah. Do you remember Tim Donaghy and how great that was for the NBA?
That's cheating.
Yeah. Dan?
Yes. Speaking of the NBA, the Celebrity All-Star Game is tonight. Two teams coached by host of ESPN's First Take, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. Buy or sell this being a cool concept.
I love this idea, actually. I hated the Team LeBron versus Team Giannis thing and that iteration of the actual All-Star Game. I love this concept where you have two guys that are not basketball coaches out trying to coach, and the trash talk that's going to come along with it. Now, a little bit of a side story here. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Apparently, okay. That's what I thought it was, by the way. When I first started, because it sounded like dribbling a little bit at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Micah Parsons, who was on Team Stephen A., crossed him up today, and he fell and hurt himself so bad that he had to go to the hospital today. I didn't know if you heard about this, John.
It's just classic stuff. Classic Stephen A.
Yeah, who said that that's not what happened, which means it's exactly what happened.
It's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So I hope this video comes to fruition at some point. We need to see this.
I mean, if you want it, there's audio of it right now if you want it.
There's actual audio?
Yeah. When he actually hurts himself.
Is there audio of Stephen A. screaming in pain?
I don't think he screams. Which is the real unfortunate part of it.
Let's save that for the next clip or for the next segment. Give us your last question.
You got it. CJ Stroud, the Houston Texans quarterback, will be playing in that celebrity game. Buy or sell that the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year will also be the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game MVP.
Hey, my man is winning at life, by the way. He's a franchise quarterback in the NFL. He just won NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's not only playing in the Celebrity All-Star Basketball game tonight, he also was leaving a Celebrity Softball game from our friend Travis Scott today.
Yes.
And just walking with him to his car, famous supermodel Amber Rose was leaving the game with him as well.
Hold on. Amber Rose, as in like Kanye West and Wiz Khalifa's former girlfriend, Amber Rose?
Yeah. So
all right, that might be losing it life.
I think he's gonna be okay. But no, my money is on CJ Stroud to be the MVP of the celebrity game tonight.
Oh, that's interesting. I saw on social media, he dropped 40 on Jaime Jaquez in high school. So he can ball. So I think it might be the odds-on favorite. So I'll buy it.
He's going to be asked to guard Micah Parsons, though. That's going to be interesting.
I did see on social media in one of our breaks that Micah Parsons and Puka Nacua had back-to-back dunks. Like Parsons went in and dunked it, and then they stole the inbound. He handed it off to Nakua, and he threw it down with one hand too.
Which is interesting because Puka's not actually in the game. So I don't know who missed the boat on that. But how do you not try? If that dude's going to be there, just put him on one of the rosters.
He is on one of the rosters.
Is he? I thought.
Yeah, he was like a late ad.
Ah, okay.
They announced him this morning. They were like, surprise guest, Puka Nakua. He's going to be playing in the Celebrity All-Star game.
They're probably, hey, look, that's an NFL player, and he's just sitting here. Let's just put him on a roster.
I saw the clip from the game. It actually happened.
Oh, is it going on right now? I thought it was on.
Yeah.
7:30. Okay. Well, there you go.
Switching over to ESPN now, apparently.
That was by herself. You missed it tonight. Check it out at soundcloud.com/after hours, where 1620, where you can always check out any of our show. It was brought to you by the Omaha Supernovas. Their brand new head coach is going to be in studio with us at the 7:30 hour. Check out our show at 7:30. Make sure you don't go anywhere for Laura Bird Kuhn, her thoughts on the Omaha Supernovas, how the team has transitioned into her as the new head coach midway through the season, and a whole lot more. Check all of that out at soundcloud.com/after hours 1620. We're giving you trash takes. We come back here on 1620 The Zone. It's a Friday night. You probably had a long work day. If you need to take a little bit of the edge off, there's no better place to stop by than Caddyshack Bar and Grill. They've got two great locations, 117th and Blondo or 180th in Harrison. You can stop out tonight, get yourself a plate of Jay's famous open-faced roast beef sandwich and a side for $12.95. Caddyshack Bar and Grill is the official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
The clouds will clear out for your Friday night, but it's going to feel chilly outside with a northwest wind and temperatures in the 20s. By tomorrow, we see a lot more sunshine, a high temperature near 40 degrees, and then only warmer thereafter. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV News Watch 7.
There's never been a better time to choose a new career path than right now. Hi, I'm Tracy with Papillion Sanitation. If you're at a point in your life where you want a career, not a job, Papillion Sanitation is the place for you. From 401k options to opportunities for career advancement, come make Papillion Sanitation your future. Check out papillion-sanitation.com today to apply and make a change for the better. Papillion Sanitation, equal opportunity employer.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they hit the road for the first time with trips to Grand Rapids and Vegas. They're back home at the CHI Health Center on the 18th to host the Orlando Valkyries. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:21 on a Friday night here at 1620 The Zone. We're brought to you by Papillion Sanitation, which means it's time for our Papillion Sanitation Trash Takes of the night. What we'll do here is John, Dan, and I will all give you a hot take. We'll put a poll out on Twitter. You'll vote who had the best take and who had the trashiest. Who wants to start us off tonight, boys? All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead.
The MLS putting their product on Apple TV is bad for the league.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Because
Apple paid $2.5 billion for the broadcast rights to the MLS. And they got 2 million subscribers to sign up for MLS Season Pass last season. Now, can you imagine how many people would have watched the MLS if they didn't have to pay $99 to watch the full season? 2 million did. Imagine how many would have watched it had they not had to fork out the money extra for another streaming service. A lot of people will look at these numbers and say, look, 2 million people signed up. Yeah, but those are diehards. You're not growing the game. You're not reaching a new audience. You're just keeping and bilking the people who love the game already. It's a bad thing for the league.
Yeah, I'm surprised for a league that needs growth. I mean, it's obviously still pretty successful in its markets, but not really outside of the cities that the markets are in. That they did this. I'm with you there. I think this is I think it's a really bad look. I'll give mine. Dan will save the worst for last.
Thank you.
This is something that's near and dear to your heart, John Schreiner. WrestleMania should not be a 2-night event. I absolutely hate this format. I think it's incredibly stupid. There's no such thing when we're talking about promotion events, whether it be the UFC, whether it be professional wrestling, whether it's boxing, where there's 2 main events. There's never 2 main events. There's 1 main event. This is stupid. Nobody is somebody that's been a fan of professional wrestling my entire life. I do not need 18 hours of professional wrestling in a 48-hour time span. You need to condense it back down to 1 night. WrestleMania needs to be 1 night a year, not 2.
I'll defer to you on that.
Dan, what do you got?
All right. So the NBA is mercilessly going for a cash grab right now. And I hate all of the ideas that they think that they can put in place for the All-Star game right now. I don't want to see another repeat of last year where the final score was 184 to 175. Adam Silver, congratulations. You can say that no one was happy about the experience of last year. Well, guess what? You're going to have the same exact experience this year. And one of the things that I am absolutely so ticked off about is, number one, you don't need to have a court that's made of LED lights.
Yeah,
there is
that's
no
awful.
point. There is
Awful.
no point in having a shiny court. Just look at it. Look at the TV right now. That's dumb. I don't need to see an upper view of the court with a bunch of funny little graphics on it.
Well, it looks
to
like it's
tell
on-
me how a basketball court
It also
works.
looks like it's on fire. Like, no, nobody wants this. This is
Also, this is a celebrity all-star game. We're watching a celebrity all-star game right now. Name one actual celebrity in this all-star game. There are no
None.
legitimate
Yeah.
celebrities.
I was looking through
They
the list
are
earlier.
sports stars and they are random people. Tristan Jass is not a celebrity.
Yeah, I was
I don't
looking
know
through
who that is.
I
He
don't
does
either.
YouTube stuff with basketball.
Yeah, I was looking through the list earlier, and I think I knew 6 people.
Oh, is that the guy who goes around and plays on like street courts?
Yes.
Oh, that dude's in this? Okay, I might actually watch that then.
It's not the professor.
I know who the professor is.
Thank you.
It's the blonde dude, right?
Yeah, he's got like the little blonde, like little front mullet that like hangs in
Yeah.
his eyes.
He's got
And everyone's like, this white boy can't play. And then he's like,
got a
"Oh, I
96
know what
bowl
you might
cut.
need."
Yeah.
We're apparently not calling traveling in this game either. Hey, if you missed the trash takes of the night, check it out at soundcloud.com.
It's the NBA after all.
/ after hours 1620. People are doing their best James Harden impersonations. That segment was brought to you by Forsman's Finest Decks. Cooler temperatures are here, but it's starting to warm up outside. And if you want your place to be the hangout spot outside this summer, let Forsman's Finest Decks come build you a deck, put a cover on it, add that something your house has been missing this spring. Head over to forsmansfinest.com. Have your dream deck built by Travis and crew. We'll be right back interviewing the new head coach of the Omaha Supernovas, Laura Bird-Coon, here on 1620 The Zone. We come back.
Hey everybody, Dan Campanen here for all 10 of Pepper Jack's great locations around the Omaha Metro. If you're wondering, do I live close to a Pepper Jack's? The answer is probably yes. You can go and get it at any time of day that you want, and they even deliver now. So you can get your wrap, your burrito, your steak gunner Philly, however you want it. It can be in your hands almost instantaneously. So go out, because I know your stomach's been rumbling all day, for a little bit of that Pepper Jack's.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly trash or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at bubruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they hit the road for the first time with trips to Grand Rapids and Vegas. They're back home at the CHI Health Center on the 18th to host the Orlando Valkyries. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks. Pro volleyball season is here in Omaha. Chesterman Coca-Cola and Hy-Vee have partnered with the Omaha Supernovas. Right now, when you stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee and pick up 2 12-packs of Coke, you can get a third one free. Plus, if you need to stay hydrated, do it with the all-new Body Armor Zero Sugar. You can get 10 for just $10. Coke and any Hy-Vee, keeping the Omaha Supernovas super.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:32 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Papillion Sanitation. If you're looking for a new career, head over to Papillion-Sanitation.com to become a driver. If you don't have a CDL, that will help you get one. There's even a $10,000 stick around bonus as well. Somebody that's not looking for a new job because they just got one is the new head coach of the Omaha Supernovas, Laura Bird-Coon. Coach, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time.
Yes, so good to be with you guys. We're back in Omaha. Feels good to be back.
I was going to ask, how was the travel situation, and what time did you guys get in?
Well, we landed around 2 today. You know, when you're in Vegas, there's not a lot of sleep out there. You know? But it was a fun night. It was good. But we left early this morning and got back, so it's been nice to get back and kind of regroup and then get back in the gym tomorrow.
You obviously have had a very interesting career that led you to Omaha. You had your 5 seasons as the head coach at Texas A&M. What did you learn in your time in College Station that prepared you for this job with the Omaha Supernovas?
I think, we all learn a lot by living things and experiencing things. So the level of play, but also it's more the behind the scenes. I think it's the management of people around you and what to expect. The volleyball is what it is, and the personalities of players and building teams. But I think just having the experience of managing the staff, like what needs to go on, how things run, like that's really what has made this kind of a smooth. It's fun to be part of a startup when I've experienced all the things and kind of know and can be kind of a help in building something. And that's why I wanted to do this. So I think just that experience for our organization has helped everyone.
Hey, Coach, we've seen a lot of upstart leagues come through Omaha. And for the most part, I think Omaha's done their part, pulled their weight, supported the teams as you'd want. But the leagues themselves haven't stuck around very long. What is it about this league you think that'll make it more sticky?
I think there's a lot of specific pieces on how it's structured and how it's built and the ownership of each franchise being more individual. But to be honest, I think the special thing about this league is our sport. The community of volleyball is very strong and it's a close-knit group. And so I think even though we might have some competition with other leagues and other things happening, all of us, coaches, players, families, people that are involved in the volleyball community, we want it to be successful. And I think at the end of the day, good people are going to make things happen. And and that's what it's going to boil down to. I think it's going to continue to grow and take off, and the support will continue to grow just because of our volleyball community.
You obviously have a very unique situation as you didn't start the regular season as the head coach of this team. Do you feel like that kind of put you behind the eight ball in any kind of way? And what were some of the benefits to kind of coming into the situation when you did?
I don't think it put us behind the eight ball. I think it wasn't like the long-term vision or what we all had planned, but I think our organization, the Supernovas, is forward thinking, and Shelton built such a great roster and a great staff, and I happen to be a part of that, and I'm so thankful. And obviously he's been a mentor, a coach, and now this relationship we've built together doing this has been very special. And so like any startup, it kind of has to grow, and you have to kind of be ahead of the curve and try to be. And so we're looking forward to the future because we have to always do that. So I think the positive is that I've been here from the start. It's not like they hired me from a different place. It's like I've been here. The cool thing for me, which I've never experienced because I left Kansas to be a head coach, I came in as like the player coach, and now all of a sudden, like I'm their head coach, but I already have those relationships and kind of that trust built. So that's kind of cool. Now, just being able to lead them, but really they don't need to be led. They're professional athletes, so they're kind of doing their jobs, and we're all on the same page because I've been here from the start. So it's kind of a special, unique situation that, in all honesty, I think is positive at this point. I think the transition is what it is, but this team has always been resilient, and they're very special. It's such a special group, and so it's been a wild couple of weeks, but we fought through it, and it's only made us stronger.
Nebraska's become known as the volleyball state. Nobody shows up for volleyball like they do here in Nebraska, whether it's at the club, high school, collegiate, and now professional level. Just what have you seen in your time here that makes this the place for volleyball?
I think we all knew coming in, like Omaha was going to be the epicenter, and Nebraska is the epicenter of volleyball. And so we knew this was going to be a special place, and this organization and its resources and just the support around it, let alone the community and the fans now. I mean, that first night, none of us knew what to expect. Like Atlanta came in, they didn't know what to expect. And to have 11,000+ people out to support what no one knew the product, no one knew what that would look like. It's special. And yes, there's an expectation because it's Nebraska, but it never ceases to amaze any of us in the volleyball community how the support is felt and just the energy of it. And I think all the teams that visit us are going to feel that. And it's kind of the bar that's being set for these events. And Vegas was awesome. I mean, Las Vegas's venue, their environment, that atmosphere, that match last night was awesome. And so I think that is what's special about the league, like the bar that's being set and all of us challenging each other and competing to continue to raise that bar.
We're joined on the phone by Laura Bird-Coon, the new Omaha Supernovas head coach. You kind of mentioned it. You guys had two big wins on the road against Grand Rapids and then last night in Vegas. How has this team responded since that loss to Vegas at home? And what's the biggest difference between a matchup in Omaha versus when you get, or like specifically about that game with Vegas in Omaha and then when you went on the road last night?
I mean, I think these teams, all of us, we're all going to grow, and it's going to happen fast, like overnight, because it's a new team, new league, but every match is going to be different. Every match is going to be a challenge and a competition that is better than the one before. Whether it's the same team, a different opponent, it's going to continue to, all of the game is going to continue to get better because the players have now played together longer. I think our biggest challenge was a gut check, like, okay, we've played at home, now we're going on the road. What were our challenges? What were we falling short of in these first couple matches? And it was like finishing points and just knowing who we were and how we wanted to compete together as a team. And so the couple days before we hit the road, that's kind of what we focused on in practice. And when we got to Grand Rapids, I love taking teams. Like, I think being on the road is one of the best things for a team because they bond and you just go through a lot of adversity kind of in some aspects. And so to be in those environments and to fight the way we did and finish and come home with 2 wins is huge for this team right now. And they're resilient, but they're a special group, and I appreciate being able to coach them. And I think it's just the beginning. Obviously, we have a lot of season left, so there's going to be challenges and bumps in the road. But to go out on the road for our first road trip and come back with 2 wins is huge.
What's your favorite part about being a professional volleyball coach now?
I would say my favorite part about coaching is relationships in general and getting to build them through coaching, through basically everything off the court, the life things that happen. And with this group, and now being the first time I've coached pro, it still is that. I mean, I appreciate having coached the last 20 some years. I talked about it in the locker room last night, and I talked about it to both the setters today. The ability that they're allowing us as coaches and a staff to make changes, make adjustments in our lineup, and it is seamless, and it's literally what every coach's dream is, to coach a match and be able to put players in and out, and there is zero repercussion. There's no emotional, yes, they're going to be upset. They want to be in there competing and playing, but their relationships and the way they communicate with each other and handle it as professionals, it makes it even more satisfying, or just the core of what you want out of a team. And so I applauded both Nazi and Sid, the way they've handled the last couple matches and us doing what we need to do to get wins. And everyone's all in together, and that is what it's all about. Like when you're playing a team sport like this, any night it could change, and when you're called upon, the same thing happened with our middles in the match at Grand Rapids, and that to me is the epitome of what it's all about. And again, it's just the beginning, so there'll be challenges, but the way they're responding and being teammates is the best thing we could have right now.
You kind of mentioned it already. Obviously, Vegas was a ton of fun, but you guys have a couple more road trips still on the schedule with Columbus, Orlando, and Atlanta. Is there anything road trip-wise you're excited for down the road?
I love seeing them compete. They know all these players, so they played together at AU.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's fun to see them all get together, like when we show up for practices and things like that, and to see them competing against each other. But I think just taking them, because it will be close to people's homes, we'll have family and friends in each city. And so to see the community of volleyball, but also then on top of that, all of the fans. Mm-hmm. I think when we go on the road, it's not only just here in Omaha, but it's in every venue, it's in every city that there are strong, like just ties to volleyball, but also just in our fan base. And to see this grow, it's just really special this year.
Coach, we'll get you out of here on this one. Obviously, with every regular season comes the postseason. What does the postseason look like for the Professional Volleyball League, and when does and how does that set up for you guys going forward?
So right now it's set up as like a Final Four, kind of like the NCAA, but it's just going to be a Final Four this year for us. They haven't set the venue yet. I think they're kind of trying to wait and see how this kind of plays out, at least midway through the season. But yeah, so it'll be the top 4, and then it'll just be a single elimination at one. I think it's at one location, and they haven't determined that yet.
Coach, thank you very much for the time tonight. Congratulations on all the success up until this point. We look forward to chatting with you down the road.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a good one.
You as well. That is the head coach of the Omaha Supernovas, Laura Bird-Kuhn, and we'll catch up with her throughout the season on her team as they make that stretch down towards the postseason. Be pretty cool if we could get that Final Four here in Omaha, as we were supposed to have a few years ago for the NCAA, but this thing called COVID didn't allow that to happen. It would be very cool to see that happen in the inaugural season in the state of volleyball that is Nebraska.
Yeah, absolutely. What a better place to have it.
If you missed Coach Kuhn's segment, check it out, soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Going Vertical Omaha. Going Vertical is the premier training facility in the Midwest. Work with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way up into the pros. GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group lessons. They also offer elite-level sports performance training to athletes of all sports. Check out the academy at goingverticalomaha.com. Get out with Adam Barnes and crew out on the hardwood tonight. We'll be right back, wrapping up the show and giving you some super dogs on 1620 The Zone. Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, essentially located on 78th and Dodge. Your closet could probably use a little bit of an upgrade. There's no better place to do it than Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years, but they also dress the coaches at Creighton for every game. If you want to look like the coaches do on the sidelines for the Jays, there's no better place to do it. Stop by 78th and Dodge. Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, just like the coaches, and get your closet ready for game day.
There's never been a better time to choose a new career path than right now. Hi, I'm Tracy with Papillion Sanitation. If you're at a point in your life where you want a career and not a job, Papillion Sanitation is the place for you. From 401k options to opportunities for career advancement, come make Papillion Sanitation your future. Check out papillion-sanitation.com today to apply and make a change for the better. Papillion Sanitation, equal opportunity employer.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Pro volleyball season is here in Omaha. Chesterman Coca-Cola and Hy-Vee have partnered with the Omaha Supernovas. Right now, when you stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee and pick up 2 12-packs of Coke, you can get a third one free. Plus, if you need to stay hydrated, do it with the all-new Zero Sugar. Coke and any Hy-Vee, keeping the Omaha Supernovas super.
Are you a living, breathing human being? If so, you're someone who would benefit tremendously from the non-invasive therapies at West Omaha Cryo. Their facility is equipped with whole body cryo, red light, hyperbaric oxygen, infrared sauna, and pneumatic compression. Each therapy offers its own unique profile of health benefits that'll leave you feeling better than ever. And for a limited time, they're offering listeners an unlimited 1-week trial membership for just $39. Head on over to westocryo.com/afterhours to claim your offer.
Can I get a weight reading on the cat in exam 3?
Zuri needs a new vet tech after their current one literally moved to a farm. But finding an ideal replacement takes some training.
This is like herding cats.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
When criminals in this world appear and bring
It's a Friday night. That means our pal Underdog is here to deliver some super dogs. What we're going to do is Dan, John, and I are going to give you 3 underdogs to outright win this weekend before we're back on Monday night. I'll go ahead and start us off. The Texas Tech Red Raiders are plus 6.5 at Iowa State tomorrow. Give me the Red Raiders to go on the road and pull out a win. Also, every one of my underdogs are on the road except for one because Wake Forest is plus 3.5 at Virginia tomorrow. Hunter Salas is playing great basketball right now, and I think he will be the difference in that game at Virginia tomorrow. And then give me Iowa plus 1.5 as an underdog against Wisconsin at Carver Hawkeye tomorrow. Dan Campbell,
Okay.
do you want to go next?
Yes, I do. Okay. Oklahoma State is playing at home tomorrow against BYU, and I think they get the win there. And then I'm going a little bit obscure with my last two. North Carolina A&T also is at home. They're taking on Delaware. I believe that A&T will get the WIN. And then Florida Gulf Coast is going on the road, and they're going up to Stetson or down to Stetson. I don't know where Stetson is. Florida Gulf Coast is going to win.
North Carolina A&T 11-9 against the spread this year. So,
how about that?
It's risky.
There you go.
Also, is Stetson the university where they make the hats?
Heyo.
Sure. I believe it. Stetson is in DeLand, Florida. So that would actually be down to Stetson.
Oh, okay. There you go.
John Schreiner.
I got 3 picks, 3 different sports. Pick your poison. First, we're going to go college basketball tonight. New Mexico visiting San Diego State. The Lobos are 6.5-point dogs. They're plus 230 on the money line. They beat San Diego State earlier in the year. I think they pull the sweep. Go New Mexico tonight. Tomorrow on the pitch, Fulham and Aston Villa. I'm calling it an upset because you're getting plus 255. It's going to be a draw. Bet the draw for plus 255, Fulham and Aston Villa. It's at Craven Cottage. Fulham, they don't allow a lot of goals at home, so I think that's a draw. And then tomorrow in the NHL, Edmonton at Dallas. Edmonton, the underdog, minus 105. Pick them to outright win.
All right. Well, there you go. A little bit of hockey and soccer inside knowledge from John Schreiner. As always, on Fridays, we always give you underdogs to outright win. So hopefully we get you a 9-team parlay that pays a boatload of money. We talked about it earlier in the show, but we were grading all of the coaching hires in the college football offseason. The one that we didn't bring up is obviously UCLA has moved on from Chip Kelly, and we talked about it on Friday. But you are on Wednesday, but you weren't here. Do you have any thoughts on Deshaun Foster taking that job out at UCLA?
Yeah, I was really interested when that name came up because it brought some flashbacks of, the early 2000s NFL, right? Carolina Panthers in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I mean, they went after an alum. They went after a recognizable name who they think they can recruit Southern California. Does he have the coaching chops to actually make UCLA any good? No, that remains to be seen. He's never been a head coach. So, look, I think there's a lot of positives and negatives on both sides for this one. If you want to grade, it's probably right in the middle. It's probably a C+.
Yeah, I think I didn't really give it a grade on Wednesday, but I think I would probably give it like a C minus too. It's just one of those things that I thought that if you were going to go after somebody for that job, I thought it made a lot of sense for it to be D'Anton Lynn, and I know that the players were really excited and they wanted Deshaun Foster, and a lot of them probably grew up watching him play, and I guess I get that a little bit, but the way that defense played under D'Anton Lynn, I thought it was going to be a much better fit, and obviously they went in a different direction. I think he's going to kill it at USC. I think Lincoln Riley paired up with a defensive coordinator that actually knows what he's doing is very, very scary. So I think the Trojans are going to be a lot of fun to watch this year, and I think they might, despite the loss of Caleb Williams, even take a step forward. It's going to be interesting to see how everything shakes out at UCLA, but I think they're going to have a ton of hurdles to get over.
Well, I think so much of hiring a coach in this day and age of NIL and transfer portal is about who's the guy who can keep our good players from transferring. That's like job number one for the coach. And it goes so heavy into who you hire is who can keep the roster intact.
See, and I think that's kind of, not to make everything about Colorado, but I think that's kind of like the only thing that they seem to care about in Boulder is we have a guy that can get other people to come here.
Yeah.
And I think that's the wrong way to build a college football program. I think Colorado is even more intriguing this season than they were a year ago.
Sure, because nobody expected a whole lot out of them last year. What they did by when they started,
I don't know. They were the most
5-0
to win the national championship, so that's debatable.
Okay, but the betting public isn't like the thing that the great measuring stick, right?
Yeah.
Most of the pundits and experts had them at like 3 or 4 wins.
As did I, by the way.
Yeah, they greatly overachieved expectations last season. So that was interesting from its own perspective. Now, in year 2, they're not going to sneak up on anybody, and they've done a lot of talking, and everyone's going to want that number. They're going to want that skin on their wall to say, we went and beat Deion Sanders. So, yeah, I agree with you. This season is really interesting for Colorado.
196 days till college football is back, folks. So we will continue the countdown. If you missed any of the show tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhour1620. It was brought to you by Pyramid Roof Contractors. If you need an update to your roof, maybe your windows get a little bit of fog behind them when the humidity sits in. That's not supposed to happen. Let the #1 roofer in Omaha, 12 consecutive years, come take care of your roof, your windows, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Let Pyramid Roof Contractors come out and give you a free estimate. All you have to do is stop by pyramidroof.com to book that estimate today. For Dan Campen and John Schreiner, I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy National Almond Day, everybody.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly trash or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at bubruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Pro volleyball season is here in Omaha. Chesterman Coca-Cola and Hy-Vee have partnered with the Omaha Supernovas. Right now, when you stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee and pick up 2 12-packs of Coke, you can get a third one free. Plus, if you need to stay hydrated, do it with the all-new Body Armor Zero Sugar. You can get 10 for just $10. Coke and any Hy-Vee, keeping the Omaha Supernovas super.